Welcome back to the video lecture series on the subject engineering mechanics. So today we are going to see another important concept that is called a scalar and vector. So what is a scalar quantity and what is a vector quantity? So scalar quantities are measured using numbers and units. For example, length, temperature and time. They are all scalar quantities. Length is measured in terms of centimeters or meters or even in inches or feet. So it will be having a number as well as units. Similarly, temperature is measured in terms of degree centigrade or degree Kelvin or degree Fahrenheit. And time is measured in terms of seconds, minutes or hours. So all these quantities are examples for scalar. Then what do you mean by a vector? Vector quantities are measured with numbers and units similar to that of scalar, but it also have a specific direction. So example, acceleration, displacement and force. So acceleration is measured in terms of numbers. For example, a rocket is moving with an acceleration of 30 meter per second square in the upward direction. So it is measured with a number that is 30 unit meter per second square and the direction it is moving upwards. Similarly, displacement. Displacement of a car is 200 miles northwest. So here it is measured with the number, with the unit as well as in the direction. A 2 Newton force, a 2 Newton, an apple of weight 2 Newton falls on the head of a man. Now the force magnitude it is given as 2, unit is Newton, and is moving vertically downwards before it falls on the man. So vector quantities are measured with numbers, units, but it also have a specific direction, whereas scalar quantities only have numbers and units. Now we will move to speed and velocity. So distance is a scalar quantity, but displacement is a vector quantity. So distance is expressed in terms of meters. Displacement is also expressed in meters, but it has direction. Similarly, speed is a scalar quantity, whereas velocity is a vector quantity. So what is speed? It is the rate of change of distance, whereas velocity is the rate of change of displacement. So speed has only magnitude, whereas velocity has both magnitude and direction. Average speed is given by distance by time, whereas average velocity is given by displacement by time. Hope you understood this particular concept of speed or velocity. What do you mean by addition of vectors? Now, for example, if a car moves from A to B and then to C, the total displacement will be it will be from A to B the displacement, then from B to C the displacement. If both these displacements are added together, then you will get the total displacement. Similarly, instead of taking the path from A to B and B to C, it directly travels from A to C. The displacement will be the same. The displacement will be the same. So now, since displacement is a vector quantity, now by adding the vector AB along with the vector BC, you will get the vector AC. So the two vectors will also give the same result. The adding of the two vectors will give the same result as that of AC vector. Similarly, it is possible to simplify the vectors. So it is always possible to simplify vector by splitting it into two components. So imagine that instead of a car, instead of traveling via B, the car travels via D. Its displacement is same. Whether it travels via B or it takes via D, the displacement is going to be the same. But it will be much easier if it takes the path from A to D, then from D to C, instead of moving from A to B and B to C. Now, this position of C can be represented by x comma y coordinates. That is, for example, x can be equal to 5 meters and y can be equal to 3 meters. So the position of C vector can be represented by the x and y coordinate. In this way, it is possible to simplify the vectors also. Thank you.